There's a new trend going across the internet about TradWives, and I'm a bit late on it, but a question came to me regarding the topic, and so I wanted to discuss that on the show today. It appears that there are many women that feel terrified or perhaps triggered when it comes to this new TradWife movement, and so today I'm going to delve into why that might be the case, and if you are one of those women that feels triggered or terrified about this movement, why you should. I'm Colette G, dating and relationship specialist and author. Welcome back to my channel, and hi newcomers. If you like learning about ways to date, how to attract your soulmate, and or how to improve the relationships that you're already in, then do me a favor and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then please tick on the notification bell so that you're aware of when I drop a new video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So TradWives, or also known as traditional wives, also known as homemakers and housewives. And it seems like there's a movement going on across TikToks and other social media platforms where these women are sharing how to be a TradWife, some things that you need to do, and are now being targeted by the feminist movement against traditional housewives or TradWives. And I'm only talking about this today because someone wrote me a question on my website. I have this form on my website called Ask Colette a Question, and it's a free form that you can fill out and ask me any dating relationship questions that you might have, and I get back to most people within 24 to 48 hours. So this woman contacts me on that form, and she gave me permission to talk about it today without giving up a lot of her details, but apparently all she was concerned about is how she can talk to her friends and people that she knows about wanting to be a traditional housewife without feeling like she was under attack. And I thought to myself, well, what is the TradWife thing? So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, went online to check out TikTok. Now, for those of you that know me, you know that I am no longer on social media. I do, however, have an Instagram page up, but I'm not active on it. My assistant does all that. And I am here on YouTube, which I consider more or less a search engine than a social media site. But I had to do some research on the subject, and there was like tons and tons of stuff, like articles, videos, feedback, and I'm going to delve more into that as we go further into this video, and I'm going to try to keep this short. I chose two videos that I will be sharing here with you so I can give my feedback off of both of these videos. One kind of delves into more of why this woman decided to become a TradWife, and she sort of looks down at some of the non-traditional housewife type women, and then another woman who I feel all she was doing was providing tips. So let's go ahead and watch those two videos, and then I'll get back to you.
Worked for a while, and I ended up becoming single, and I thought he was very attractive, so I shot my shot, and apparently it landed because now I'm married and I have a baby on the way.
We've been together like 2.5 years.
So we were engaged, and I was going to school. I was also working, but I thought that he was wanting a little bit more attention to the house, to the home, and also, to himself. So I had a sneaking suspicion that it might benefit our relationship if I stayed home.
I didn't even know I wanted a traditional relationship. I, honest to God, thought that I wanted a physicist triathlete. So until I got into a relationship with Allie, I didn't even know how wonderful having a traditional relationship where there were gender separations.
The agreement was that if I sucked at being a homemaker, that I would go back to work. But I did not suck. I wouldn't say I'm a feminist at all. I think that feminism was all bad. Men love women so much that they would have liberated us after they were fully liberated anyway. I am just of the opinion that feminism was completely unnecessary and that it's a female supremacy movement. You're just in it for the steak and eggs.
Interesting.
So I do most of the cooking and cleaning. I do most of the laundry as well. He works for a long time. Sometimes it's 10 hours a day. So I just take care of the house while he's gone. I earn more now married than I did when I was in the military, and it's the best job I've ever had. I would probably be considered on his bankroll. He pays for my living, and there's a health insurance plan.
I basically said, hey, look, how much money do you need per week to do fun things? She said, I need $100 for my snacks and my coffee. And I'm like, okay. We got rid of all her credit cards. We opened up new credit cards under my account. And so now I can see all of her purchases. And she's very disciplined.
I don't want to drain my husband. I know some wives, they don't have a conscience with that, but I would prefer if I never had to look at a screen about dollars ever. Today I'm going shopping, obviously.
Woo, okay. So now let's pull up, this TikToker that's been going around discussing what it's like to be a TradWife. I fast forwarded through this video to this one point, and I'm going to go ahead and share that clip with you. And then again, I'll give you my feedback.
So I wanted to create a list of some skills that you should learn if you are interested in becoming a homemaker or housewife. So first on the list is cooking. Cooking is not only important for a homemaker, but is also important for family life in general. Food is what fuels our body, and when you control how it is made and what goes in it, you are doing yourself and your family a huge favor. Second is cleaning. So not only do you want to learn how to clean your house properly and most effectively, but you also want to use the best kinds of cleaners. These name brand cleaners at the store have such harsh chemicals and toxins, and when you're inhaling them and using them on your skin, it's extremely bad for you. I definitely suggest looking up homemade household cleaners and how to make them yourself, and that will definitely help your family and you. My third one is seasonal decorating. Now this one is the fun one because you get to get into these cool little crafts on each holiday. My favorite is Halloween. That's why I love horror books. And you get to really just get into each holiday, and you get to do these little DIY projects that you find on Pinterest or wherever. And yes, you can go buy these wreaths and stuff, or you can make them yourself and make them fun and make them crazy and personal too. And fourth is hosting. Hosting is a great way to showcase your seasonal decor and honestly welcome your friends and family into your lovely home. But hosting has many skills such as serving, proper etiquette. So you just gotta get into it. It's a whole nother skill, but it's fun. And last, and probably most importantly, is budgeting. So budgeting is extremely important as a housewife because you are living on one income only. So by budgeting, that means picking and choosing between things sometimes, and it's a sacrifice. But it is a sacrifice well worth it, and it's an amazing, simple life. For budgeting, I recommend bargain shopping. I go thrift shopping all the time, and I love it. I am so excited. Like, I can't even tell you the things that I've gotten at the thrift store, and a lot of people are really into it. Along with budgeting comes creating a self-sustainable beauty regimen. So that means all these little beauty maintenance things that we do, maybe not going to an exterior place and getting these services done, but learning to do them ourselves. And of course, picking and choosing a couple options to go to a salon, like your hair or your nails. I hope this helps you aspiring homemakers out there. Bye.
Okay, so like I said, the first video that I shared, this is a woman who talked about being in the military at one time, working hard, and like most women out there in the world, just living her best life to the best of her ability with the tools, the resources, and anything that she had. I don't know a lot about her, so I'm just adding some speculation in there. And it appears that she just made this decision that, she wanted to be in a relationship. She found someone that she really wanted to be with. And as her relationship went on, she realized more and more that he was more interested in having her be a certain type of woman for him, and she was down with that because she also wanted that for herself. I also noticed that this couple sort of looked at their relationship in a contractual manner, and there's a lot of pushback on, relationships and marriages are not a contract. Well, I disagree, and I'm going to give you my opinion on that in a few minutes, but they decided that this is the type of relationship that they wanted to have. They didn't really know going into the relationship that this is the type of relationship that they wanted to have. But once they decided, they moved forward, and it's working for them. Fast forward to the second video. Well, this woman just provides a lot of, in my opinion, really great tips for her audience. And what I mean is, there are women that want to know how to be a better homemaker, how to be a better housewife or TradWife. And I don't see anything wrong with her sharing some really useful tips to anyone watching, whether it's a housewife or a stay-at-home dad, because those are really helpful tips. How to keep your home organized, how to prepare nice, healthy, yummy meals, how to clean your home, how to take pride in how you look and keep your appearances up. And there were some other very useful tips that she gave that I wasn't triggered by at all, because I think that, I want to delve more into why I think that wasn't triggering for me, but why it might be triggering for you. So let's go forward and let's talk a little bit more about the first video. Okay, so in the first video, when the woman, Alice, I believe her name was, started sort of attacking feminism and saying that feminism was this whole ploy and, was against women and all of that. Well, I disagree. I don't consider myself a feminist and or not, but I do think that feminism or the movement has helped a lot of women who were not being treated fairly and equally when it came to work, when it came to being a homemaker, when it came to, maybe taking care of their family and things like that at home, and then the husband walking out on them, when it came to abuse. And and the list goes on of how feminism and the women's movement has helped so many women today, and we are still not there yet in regards to equality. Now, I don't agree that there should be equal everything across the board. I'm not going to get into my values and beliefs and why I don't agree with some things in the women's movement, which is why I don't consider myself a feminist, but I also don't consider myself against the feminist movement, and I would never speak out against the feminist movement, because if you're a woman watching this video, trust me, you have benefited from that movement. But I do agree that a marriage is a contract. Any relationship is a contract. And I think why some relationships fail or don't work out is because there is this lack of understanding that when you enter into a marriage or a relationship and you create a committed relationship, it is, especially a marriage, you're saying this is a binding agreement that you and I are making, and I'm agreeing that I'm going to do this and you're agreeing that you're going to do that. And I think each person tailors their relationship the way they want it to be. They frame it. Some people have open marriages. I'm not a part of doing stuff like that, but I'm not frowning on anybody else, because that's for them, not for me. In my marriage, I've agreed to, be faithful, be loving, be, transparent, and to share in the same values and so much more. And my husband has made those same agreements to me. In regards to which one of us is the homemaker or keeps the home what it is, that depends. I really don't prefer to cook. But if you've been watching my videos, then you know that I have been going through a lot of health challenges, which requires me to change up how I eat, my diets and stuff like that. And my husband's a great cook, but he may not know how to cook the things that I need him to prepare. So therefore, I have now spent a lot more time cooking than I did in the beginning of our relationship. Now that we're also here in the Middle East, My husband spends way more hours out working for this contract that he secured here, and I'm working from home. We have a housekeeper that comes in once or twice a week to help me out because, like I said, I'm working from home. But I am the primary homemaker, housemaker, wife that works at home because he's out all day. So that means that I try to make sure that I prepare a supply of meals for us throughout the week, especially because, like I said, I want to have the diet and eat the food that I want to eat. He is out all day, so I make sure that dinner's ready unless we're going out to eat or something like that. I am not a traditional housewife because I work. I have my own business, and I have had my own business since 2011. This is what it is that I do. I'm also an author, so I've been spending a lot more time since I've been out here working on a new book and speaking engagements. So all of that means that I'm not what one might consider a traditional housewife or a TradWife, but I am a housewife in that I am in the house all day while I'm here, and I do the majority of the housework, including organizing the home, laundry, you name it. Whatever needs to be done around the house, I do. I make calls to maintenance if I need to. I bring the housekeeper in and out, and whatever it is. Do I put myself together every single day? No. As a matter of fact, when I had my surgery, my husband was at home for about, nearly a month, cooking, cleaning, taking care of me, taking me to and from the bathroom, and I won't go into all of the details. What I'm saying is that he definitely knows how to commit to that role if need be. When we were both working at home, we just split up who was going to do what in what day. So again, I am not a TradWife, but I don't frown upon women who choose to be a traditional wife. Here's what I have to say for those of you that feel like you're terrified about this or triggered by the TradWife movement. And that is, if it isn't you, or rather if it doesn't apply, let it fly. This is the way that these individuals choose to live their lives. And as feminists and as supporters of women, we should not crap all over other people or other women in particular for choosing to live their lives the way that they want to. That is not very supportive, and you can't really say that this is you just calling them out but because they're choosing to live their lives the way they want to. Don't watch their videos, and people that don't want to live their lives that way do not have to engage in those videos. Go find a channel or video or information that works for you in the type of relationship that you want to have. So that's pretty much all that I have to say about that. I do understand that there is so much going on in the world, and people are triggered by what they can or can't say, what they can and can't do, and how much influence social media and the internet, the information that's on the internet, how much information is out there, good or bad. And look, people are going to watch what they want to watch, engage in what they want to engage in. The algorithms are going to share what they want to share. And you just keep living your life the way that you want to live it. And if TradWife or traditional wife movement isn't for you, then just let it go. I mean, there's no point in crapping all over people that choose to live their lives that way. Personally, for me, I don't see anything wrong with that movement for those that are interested in living their lives that way. And if that's not you, again, then let it go. For those of you that are watching my video, if you have comments or questions that you want to ask me in regards to what I think about the TradWife movement, do visit findinghappily.com and leave your question on the Ask Colette question form there. If you disagree with my response to the TradWife movement, or you have some of the perspectives that I've seen out there, such as the TradWife movement movement is basically supporting white supremacy, or the TradWife movement is taking women years and years of steps back, sort of like the Mad Men, or people that become TradWives have to be careful because they might become victims of domestic violence, and promoting this may create a catastrophe for other women out there. I hear all of you, and I do see and understand why you might feel the way that you do. However, it doesn't seem or appear to me from some of the stuff that I've watched that these are those women that are in abusive relationships. They don't seem like they're being taken advantage of. This seems like a mutual choice between two individuals that are choosing to live their lives this way. And the messages that are going across the internet that are being shared seem like they're talking to an audience that may also be interested in that. And another thing, and this is the last statement that I'll make on this subject, I saw a lot of comments from women in the comment section on some of these videos, the pros and the cons of it, that were women that were saying, I wish I could have been a traditional wife when I was raising my kids, or I wish that I could meet someone that I could be a trad wife for, but my husband isn't down with that, or we don't make enough money, or we don't have that type of lifestyle. There were tons and tons of women that wish that they could be a trad wife. And yet many of them are feeling attacked by a population of women that feel like we're going backwards if we opt for that type of lifestyle. And I think that I'm a mother, and if you're a mother or considering being a mother, then you know how challenging it is to have a baby and then go back to work, and not even have that time to nurse and bond with your baby without having to go hire a babysitter or somebody to come in and take care of your children because you are too busy out in the workforce to do that. And this is by no means frowning on any woman out there that chooses to go back to work and she's happy about it. This is not saying that. I'm talking to the audience of women that do want that life. They do want to bond with their children. And, and men want this too. I read some comments from men that look down at the TradWife movement, saying that this just looks like women who are using men and want to get a free ride and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, look, again, these types of relationships work for some people, and those people make an agreement to go into that relationship. And if it doesn't work for you, then it's not for you, but it may be for those people. And I don't think that these individuals are looking at it the way that many of you are projecting onto these individuals. I think that these are people that choose to frame their relationships and live their lives the way that they choose to. And that's all I have to say about the matter. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys all next week.